TSN's Craig Button joining us on the Nielsen Show for GS Construction. Shifting over to the Oilers, we were talking yesterday, Craig. When this team finds itself mired in some sort of maybe slump or something, the best elixir is the Nashville Predators more often than not. They were playing some good hockey as of late, having said that, but Oilers 6-2 last night. A variety of places you can take this one. Obviously, Connor McDavid, the hat trick, 10 shots. Connor Ingram bouncing back. Think he's looked pretty good since being called up. Kapanen back in the lineup, gets a goal first of the season. 5 hits as well, buzzing around, gets the second star. What's kind of popping off the page for you last night? Also, Henrique getting hurt, which... we were talking yesterday about the curious case of a 3C for this team, whether it's solved internally or externally, and we saw a bit of Roslovic between Howard and Savoy last night, albeit for a brief period of time. But what's kind of jumping off from last night's 6-2 win for you?
Okay, a couple of things, Eric, there. And I think, we've talked about Jack Roslovic. I mean, hey, let's not bury the lead. Connor McDavid has 40 points in the last 60 games. It's unbelievable. I mean, that first goal he scored, it looked like he was playing against kids.
Thank you. I said today he looked like a Tier 1 kid who was playing on the Tier 5 team because he's got some buddies on it. Like, that's ridiculous.
Like, I'm watching it and I'm going, this is the NHL, and he just comes in and, I just got to make this move goal. Like, it's unbelievable. I mean, we know how brilliant he is, and after what would be considered a slow start for Connor, I mean, he's just unbelievably great right now. He's unbelievably great, period, but his play is showing that. Jack Roslovic, we talked about earlier. I thought that Jack was such a astute signing because he's so flexible. And you see it again in that game, Eric. He can play center. He can play right wing. He can kill penalties. He can be on the power play. He can play with good players. He can go in between a couple of younger players. And that's a luxury. To me, that's a real valuable player. I saw Christian Dvorak's contract at $5.75 million for 5 years, and I immediately thought, that's Jack Roslovic's contract. Like, they immediately said, and it might be a little bit north of that. It might be a little bit north of that. But when I saw that, I go, that's Jack Roslovic's contract. I think his value is tremendous for the Edmonton Oilers. So, that's something that's significant. How about the other part that Chris Knobloch says, no Mangiapane, no Frederic, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Not good enough right now. And I think that, the players know, and Chris is patient. And he's always got that bent. He's going to try to work with the players. But you get to a point where you just say, you're not helping me. So what happens? Kapanen comes back in the lineup. Isaac Howard comes back up from the minors after having his stint there. And we talked about Isaac, how much that would help him going down and doing the Matt Savoy, I'll call it, in Bakersfield. So I think there's some real positive signs. And, you don't want to see a player get hurt. But whether Henrique is out long-term, short-term, whatever, they still have to address that spot. But it's nice to know that in a pinch, you have somebody that can slide in there and play. And that's a luxury that Jack Roslovic offers you. Connor Ingram, I mean, he's been solid. Like, he's a great story. You cheer for him.
Yeah, he's had quality starts in 4 of his 5 so far for the Oilers, which is, considering what they've been dealing with in net for the last little while, it's a positive sign. So Knobloch says after the game last night, Craig, that Henrique is going to be out for some time. And, it's a bottom 6 that really hasn't done much this season. And you said, it's nice to see Roslovic and Howard and Savoy in a pinch, but would you give him some run here? Would you leave them together for a couple of weeks if Henrique's going to be out and see if maybe you do have an in-house third line that you can build on?
Yes, I would. And one of the things that I think that Chris has shown in his time with the Edmonton Oilers, putting players into spots where they can, not only help the team, but they feel comfortable playing and they have value. And I really felt that I'm not trying to be critical of Jay, but it felt to me like Jay would quickly get to his top guys real quick and not allow the other players to be a significant part of the solution. And I think that under Chris, that's something that's really good, and that's why I quickly say yes. And it also gives Stan Bowman a chance to evaluate, okay, do we have an internal option? And because you're always looking at how you can strengthen the team, and if you can do it from within, that's a nice thing to have. And and if it isn't, you got lots of time to make a move before the trade deadline.
Even going further down, as Dusty mentioned, the bottom six, and we were talking the third line there, but I mean, I gave last night's fourth star to Curtis Lazar. He's not going to probably get a lot of them, but he had a goal, third of the season. He was speaking post-game of just, I mean, that's that type of attitude you want in that particular position of, hey, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it is, whatever's asked of me, I will do, and I will do it with a smile on my face.
Curtis is a great competitor, and he's a great person, and he's a great teammate. So put all those three things together. Checks a lot of
boxes, right?
He does, Dustin, and you want him on your team. He's pleasant. He doesn't mope around. Some players, they think they should be playing 11, they're playing 9, and they mope around because of the 2 minutes they're not getting. Right, Curtis doesn't have that type of personality or persona. He comes to the rink with, and that's what you want. That's what you need, and I think it's really valuable. You think about what Curtis brings, and Kasperi back in the lineup. We know what he brings. We know what Podkolzin brings. Like, they bring energy. They bring enthusiasm on the ice. They bring enthusiasm off the ice. Those are positive qualities to have when you're not frontline guys, because if you don't have those qualities, you don't want to be around those guys. You don't want them around your other players. They drag you down.
Craig, as always, man, we really appreciate it. Thank you for the time today.
I appreciate you.
There you go. That's Craig Button wearing the EST hat as well. Looking good. Probably a little bit of downtime here maybe after hitting the World Juniors.
Well deserved. Yeah.